Ever been to Six Flags with your kids when they were younger? Maybe you remember that specific moment when you realized you'd honestly rather just sit on the bench than ride that same coaster for the fifth time in a row. Even if it wasn't a theme park, you probably remember that shift from, hell yeah, let's go again, to, honestly, I'm good right here. It wasn't because your back hurt, though let's be honest, at our age it probably did. It was more that the thrill was just gone. The loops didn't make your stomach drop anymore. They just made you feel a little dizzy. That's where I'm at right now, except the theme park isn't a weekend trip to Jersey. The theme park is my entire life. I'm 44, about to turn 45, and I feel like I've officially run out of ride tickets. I know how this sounds to people. It sounds like another middle-aged guy whining on the internet about his feelings. But I'm not buying a red Corvette or chasing after 25-year-olds. I'm not at 3 a.m. Googling how to tie knots either. I want to be clear about that. I'm not talking about doing anything to myself. It's more of this dull, numb weight you carry around all day. If someone asked me right now if I'd be upset about not waking up tomorrow, I'd probably just shrug. I'm not actively rooting for it to happen, but the idea doesn't fill me with the panic it used to. It's more like, at least I wouldn't have to pretend to care about the next team meeting. I still show up to the office. I pay the mortgage on time. I make sure the cat's bowl is full and the electric bill is handled. From the outside, well, I'm probably doing just fine, thanks for asking. But inside, it's like being at one of those forced company parties. You know the ones. Everyone is pretending to have a great time and you're just there. You're holding a lukewarm beer you don't even want, nodding along to some guy talking about quarterly projections, just waiting for a time when it's socially acceptable to leave. And when you finally say this out loud, that's when the life coaches show up. You mention feeling this way to anyone and suddenly everyone's got a system. They ask if you tried therapy or taking a vacation to reset. They tell you to get back out there and start dating again like it's a hobby. Brother, I'm 44 years old. I make less money than guys half my age who just got promoted right over my head. Vacation where exactly? A Motel 6 down the interstate? I've tried the dating apps, and let me tell you, being invisible at work is nothing compared to being invisible to women who swipe past anyone born before the internet was a thing. I have hobbies, I really do, but lately they just feel like expensive ways to kill time until Monday morning rolls around again. Take this woodworking bench. I spent a good chunk of change on tools, quality stuff, Japanese saws, the works, that mostly just collect dust now. It's 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, and I'm in the garage sweating over his crooked birdhouse roof. I can still smell that raw pine and the metallic tang of the saw blade. I was standing there covered in sawdust, wondering why I ever thought making a box for a bird would fix what feels broken in me. It's just wood and glue. Let me tell you about a real self-own. Last summer, I decided I was going to fix the transmission on my old truck myself, save some money, feel like a man, the whole bit. I spent 4 days on my back on a cold concrete floor. I had grease in my fingernails that stayed there for a month. I can still smell the burnt metallic scent of that transmission fluid. It's like rotten cherries and failure. I finally got it all back together. I felt proud. I turned the key, shifted in reverse, and the whole thing made a sound like a bag of marbles in a blender. I'd missed one snap ring, one tiny piece of metal. I had to pay a guy 3 towns over to tow it and fix my mistake, which cost me double what the original repair would have been. That's the metaphor for my life right now. I'm doing the work. I'm on the cold floor, but the snap ring is missing, and everything sounds like marbles in a blender. Then there's the family stuff. My ex-wife moved 3 states away with the kids after the divorce 8 years ago. I see them maybe twice a year now, if I'm lucky. My dad's been gone 5 years. My mom? She's in memory care. I visit her every Sunday. I sit there in that room that smells like industrial lemon cleaner and old peppermint. Half the time, she doesn't even recognize me. She looks at me like I'm a stranger who's just being polite. My brother is out in Arizona. We haven't spoken since the funeral. My sister? Well, she'd take good care of my cat. That's about the only thing that matters right now. What exactly am I working toward at this point? The great American dream? Maybe I'm sticking around for that new movie coming out next year, if I can even see it. I've got this cataract in my right eye. It's basically turned that side of the world into a funhouse mirror. My insurance calls it cosmetic until I'm legally blind. What if the left eye goes too? Wouldn't that just be the perfect cap to the story? I'm 44. My knees crack every single time I stand up. My energy is shot by 2 p.m. The 25-year-olds at the office look at me like I'm some kind of relic from the fax machine era. I'm not building toward a comfortable retirement. I'm just hoping Social Security still exists by the time I can't work anymore. So yeah, I'm eating the bacon cheeseburgers. If my heart decides to tap out a little early, at least I won't have spent my final years eating quinoa and pretending to enjoy it. There's tired from a long shift, and then there's this. It's a tiredness in your soul, in whatever part of you used to actually get excited about things. I'm tired of pretending my job matters when we all know the company could replace me with someone younger and cheaper tomorrow morning. I'm tired of the performance reviews, the team-building exercises where we have to fall backward into each other's arms, and acting like I give a damn about synergy. I'm tired of scrolling through LinkedIn and seeing guys my age getting laid off while 20-somethings post about their passion projects. I'm tired of family gatherings where people ask what I'm up to, like there should be some grand adventure happening instead of just paying bills until I die. Sometimes I'll watch a movie and think, man, I wish I could just walk into that screen. Not because their world is better, but because it's different. Because this world, right now, feels like being stuck in heavy traffic while watching everyone else use the express lane. I'm throwing this out there because my own thoughts were getting too loud. But mostly, I suspect there's a whole bunch of us wandering around feeling exactly this way. Call it the Invisible Man Club. We're the guys who became invisible somewhere between 40 and 45. Too old to be promising, too young to be wise, too experienced to be cheap, but too damn tired to be ambitious anymore. We're not having midlife crises because we can't afford the sports cars. We're not having total breakdowns because we still have that one word hanging over us. Responsibility. We're just here, existing, keeping the lights on. This weird space between I'm fine and I'm not fine doesn't get talked about much. Men our age are supposed to either have it all figured out or be dramatically falling apart. The quiet exhaustion in the middle, that doesn't make for good conversation at a backyard barbecue. Maybe the legacy isn't the birdhouse or the truck repair or the promotion. Maybe it's just the fact that we're still here, holding the cup. I'm not going to wrap this up with some inspirational quote about how your best years are ahead of you. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Sometimes life just is what it is. But if you've made it this far, if you're listening to this at 2 a.m. because you can't sleep, well, I get it. We're all just trying to figure out what the second half looks like when the first half didn't exactly go according to plan. Today is one of those other days for me, but I'm still here. You ever stand in the grocery store aisle, just staring at the cereal boxes? You're not actually looking for breakfast. You're just standing there. I remember my dad used to do that. Now I realize he was probably just out of ride tickets. Silence is allowed. Our responsibility is what keeps us sitting at this table. So we show up, and sometimes that's the most heroic thing a man can do. Just staying in the room. If you're one of the guys on this bench, say so in the comments. Just a "me too" is enough.